Happy Friday, everyone. My name is Russ Laggan, and I am the host of Big Agent Meeting. Today, we've got a great show lined up for you guys. I am in La Jolla, California. Just finished an amazing event with the Fast Forward group over here. They had 220 or so of their people in one room. And I will tell you what, guys, there are some great things going on in EXP and some great things going on within that group and groups like it. So you guys got to find a way to connect to your people, connect to your tribe, and make sure you're showing up and participating in your own success. So with that said, let's kick off today, Big Agent Meeting, with Attraction Advantage Corner. It's a new segment we're starting out. We started out a couple weeks ago. And today I wanted to talk about something a little bit unique. So Attraction Advantage. So we're talking about real estate attraction, and I don't know if you guys heard yet, but today is the actual launch of my book called Be Followable. Got a quick slide to show you what that cover looks like. This isn't a sales pitch for the book. However, Be Followable is about my path to becoming a leader and actually finding the things and finding the paths to attraction. So when you're talking about being a leader, it is really, really key for you to be able to say, hey, number one, how do I start? Number two, like, is everybody a leader around me? And the answer is yes. So we start the book off with, how do you free up some space to be doing the right stuff? Because as a leader, you got to be working on the right stuff to be able to move the ball forward. Then second, we go into working in the business and on the business. I go into a recipe that I use for every single recruiting call. Anytime I'm talking to somebody, there's a recipe on how to have a conversation to make it about them every single time. And you've heard me say this before. When you make the conversation about them and show them the path to their ability to get to what they want in life, they're going to be more likely to say yes to the dress, or as we like to say, yes to the vest every single time. Thank you, Maggie, for that one. So with that said, if you guys want to jump on Amazon, go ahead and grab a copy. If you guys want to have more conversation about this and bring me in to be able to talk more about you guys on how you can do attraction, every single person on the growth team, including myself, is here for you guys to be able to take your business to the next level and show you guys the paths and the recipes to being able to be successful in the attraction game of real estate. So there you go. Short but sweet infomercial for a book that'll help you guys be able to actually take your attraction to the next level. I hope that works for you guys, and I hope you appreciate that being available to you. And thanks to Amy Weaver for making me do it. She said, hey, Russ, you need to write a book. Like, okay, here we go. And off we went. 9 months later, there's the book. All right. So with that said, next section coming up, we've got Ian Wheatley talking about KGCI Radio, talking about what do they got going this week. Ian Wheatley, take it away, brother.
Hey, good morning, Russ. It's officially August, and we are in this final stretch of summer, and I realize it is super easy to get distracted. But the agents who stay sharp right now, they are the ones who are sprinting into fall with a full pipeline. So here's not just one or two, but 3 ways that you could be using KGCI Real Estate on air right now to stay sharp. Number 1. Use Monday to reset. Start your week with our Mindset and Motivation Monday. Some quick hits that get your head in the right space and your feet moving. Stream it while you're getting ready, driving to the office, or planning your week. No excuses here, just some strategy to get the real estate between your ears in the right place. Number 2, whether you are driving between showings, prepping for a listing, or cooking dinner, turn on KGCI. Our 24/7 stream is always on and packed with real tips, real stories, and real results from real estate agents right now. You're already doing the work, so you should train while you do it. And that always free Real Estate On Air mobile app for iPhone and Android allows you to do it wherever you are and plugs seamlessly into Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And at number 3, turn takeaways into touch points. Every Tuesday on Real Estate On Air Live, we hit housing headlines and the top 5 takeaways, and I use that in my conversations during the week. They're a great way to bring some value and be in the know when you reconnect with a lead or a client. And what's happening on the air just ain't content. It's a conversation starter. So coming up right after the Big Agent Meeting here on KGCI Real Estate On Air, we've got our weekly Friday focus. And this week we are sharing how top agents build their ultimate social media calendar to attract clients. We have insights all day from Gogo, Bethany, Holly Kitchens, Hallie Mercoria, and many more of not just EXP Realties, but the best in the industry that have used social media to grow their business in any market. So if you're not listening yet, scan this code, connect your way on the stream, on demand, or the best of both worlds with the KGCI Real Estate On Air mobile app for iPhone and Android. And let's finish the summer sharper than we started with the help of KGCI Real Estate On Air.
All right, there you go. KGCI always bringing value to you guys. Now you know. You got to tune in because they got some great stuff on the docket for today, and they got a bunch of great stuff coming down next week. Next up, with the brokerage brief, Holly Mabery. And by the way, Holly, happy belated birthday. You had a birthday, I think, Saturday last week? So happy belated birthday. Take it away, Holly.
I love getting to join you every week and bringing you strategies and tools that you can use in your business. And I know right now with the market, what it is, that point of differentiation becomes so critical. But sometimes the point of differentiation is in tools that are available to everyone. So check this out. This is something that just came out from the National Association of Realtors. And it's really about leveraging your knowledge and your connectivity in the marketplace. So the National Association has released the Metro Market Statistics Dashboard. It's a mouthful, but it's definitely something that can identify very specifically what's going on in your market. If you go to nar.realtor, you are able to pull up your specific metro market and also then engage in higher level details, demographics on the homeownership, economic conditions, affordability index. It's really pretty sweet. But what's even more important is when you go there, go ahead, you sign into NAR. It's very, very simple with your account and password. And if you don't have it, you just need your NRDS number. Once you do that, you can access the Metro Market Statistics. It's actually got a header right there on the opening page, but you can also go to Research and Statistics and pull it up from there. Now, when you get to this, scroll down to the bottom of the page and you'll see all of the different metro markets you can have access to. Now, I'll admit, I'm a little bit more rural. I'm not in the Metro Phoenix area. But for me, it allows me working with sellers out of the Metro Phoenix area to talk about what's going on for them that could impact their ability to buy where I'm at, just an hour and a half away. What I love about this is I can have a deeper conversation around what it looks like for them to sell back home and what it may look like if they're getting ready to buy basically in another area. So I can pit both of those against one another. Now, this is the other thing that I love. You and I are the connector of the information. You and I are the connector of data. As a result, how we update in our social media, how we update in our newsletters to clients, this is some really great information to start to weave together a story of what people should know and understand. Now, focusing on the highlights allows us to do that. So let's break it down a little bit. We've got the impact of rates if they just went down a tick lower. Well, interest rates is the top of everybody's mind. And one of my favorite things to do when I was doing newsletters all the time was a cocktail stat. That cocktail stat, I would say, the average price per square foot of homes sold in this area last month was X, or this many homes sold in the last year, or, our average sales price, all of those types of things. Easy to remember that people love to share when they're out with friends or at a party. And then people go, oh, gosh, how did you know that? It's so specific to our neighborhood. They say, oh, my great realtor Holly told me. That becomes that purveyor of information that you help people kind of create community even when you're not in the room. Now, these rate impacts, what I appreciated about it is if mortgage rates went from 7 to 6%, that gap of who could actually purchase in your area becomes wider known. Now, in looking at what the Fed's doing, we're potentially looking at interest rate adjustments between now and the end of the year, maybe twice. As a result, what does that look like? If you've got somebody who's thinking about selling between now and December, what should they prime that for? Who's their target buyer? Now, homeowner demographics, this is great if I'm a buyer in the area. What does it look like? The median age, some of the census data, but also that median household income, because that shows me who my move-up buyer is. That could be also if they're getting ready to retire or move on, all of that. And then finally, our economic drivers. Are we seeing more people move into the area? Are we seeing business investment? Because that will drive, if I'm a seller, I'm looking at long-term, okay, what does this mean? Are people investing in the area? If they are, prices go up. If they aren't, if we're seeing kind of some attrition or we're seeing some reductions, okay, what does that look like if I'm a seller? Should I move more quickly? Should I be more aggressive in my sales price? And this is a really great opportunity for you to go deeper with your clients. Now, for sellers, pricing and affordability, 100%. You have to know who your target market is. And what I appreciate about this data is it's macro, looking at the entire area. Of course, you're going to dial in your CMA and you're going to sit with comps for the last 3 months, 6 months, and you're going to be talking about price reductions or changes in the market, new inventory, all of that. This gives just a little bit broader without going national. And I love that about this data. Also, I want you to time the best market. And this is what I love about real estate. When people say, "Oh, I want to buy low and sell high." Cool. That was yesterday. Let's keep going. And so as you're having these conversations with sellers, this is just another tool in your toolbox. Now for buyer planning, I love this strategy because now you can really hone in on affordability and what it looks like for them. What are those factors that are going on in the marketplace, their location and lifestyle. I love this because when you start to think about how people buy, what they buy around, gosh, are they buying for the dining room table that only sits 12? Are they buying because they're having a baby or they got a new puppy that's now eating the couch? Like all of these things that require buyers to move. The market product, that also I love out of the statistics. Are we seeing mostly single family? Are we seeing condos, townhomes, multifamily, new construction? Also breaking down HOA, city utilities, things of that nature. The more you can share with buyers to help them understand that proactive approach, huge. Timing, of course, when it comes to buyers, are they buying for today or are they buying for the next 12 years? What are their budget considerations today that want to keep them on top, right? Like they don't want to be house poor. They don't want to overspend. All right, let's pull data because there's a lot of folks who can go get data. They're looking at different things around the world or on the internet. They really can't get into the details like you can. And so helping them pull that and then actually walking them through what it means, that's your superpower. That's the opportunity to really earn their business in this professionals market. So I absolutely love this. Now, before I go any further, when it comes to market dynamics, I want you to think about not just job growth, but the Starbucks and the Whole Foods factor. What I love about these two things is anytime a Starbucks is planned, usually you will see prices in that immediate area start to go up within 5 to 15% over the next year and a half. So there's something changing. When you look at Starbucks, you look at Whole Foods or a Trader Joe's, where they invest is meaningful. And so as a result, for you and I as agents, what are we watching? Who's going into the area? How can we help support things of that nature? Now, leaning in and leading, this is where I want you to differentiate yourself. This is the opportunity to lead on your social media. And not just with past client follow-up. I want you to take advantage of dropping stats, these knowledge bits that you have consistently on your social media, whether it's in Facebook or LinkedIn or could be Instagram, whatever that might be. Share those actionable insights. What should people be looking for or have knowledge around their local area? And what's interesting is the more you highlight that data-driven content, it makes all the difference. At the end of the day, people want to work with a professional. They want to work with somebody who they can trust, but also knows what they're doing. And when you have this kind of content, when you are sharing these resources that you are updating, weekly, monthly, whatever that looks like in your cadence, that allows you to be the purveyor of information long before somebody ever thinks of needing you. And that's a great opportunity. So embrace it, differentiate yourself. NAR.realtor is the place to go, and you can have access to this awesome dashboard. It's part of your dues dollars, so there is no upcharge. This is what you can do and make a difference in your market. We'll see you guys soon.
All right, there you go. Holly Mabery, always bringing you the best of the best, what's going on in the industry and what we're doing and what you guys need to know to take your business to the next level at eXp. So next up, University Spotlight with Alyssa Specht. Alyssa, what do you got for this week?
What's up, everybody? Alyssa Specht here, and I hope that you are ready because the first week of August is coming in hot at eXp University. We are talking about conversion skills. We're talking about content domination, leadership at the highest level, and strategies that are going to help you close more deals. So let's run through the lineup, what's coming up next week. So starting on Monday with Level Up, we've got Amber Welch joining us. Now, y'all, this is one for every agent who said, I don't want to sound salesy, because Amber Welch, she's a top producer and a co-founder of Home Based Real Estate. She is bringing us a real estate conversion mastery session that's all about rapport, trust, and confident follow-up that actually works. So guys, join us. That is Monday. Then we're going to look over to Thursday with the Executive Masterclass. Now, this masterclass, we have Susan McLean joining us. This is your Thursday fix of business elevation, leadership growth. So do not miss it. That again is on Thursday. But we are still not done. Let's look at the forecast into Friday, where we're back here at the Big Agent Meeting with the one and only Holly Mabery. So buckle up. This one is going to be a big one. It's going to be something you don't want to miss. But one more for Friday, we are going back with the Lab Podcast with Chris Colgan. So attention, content creators, this one is calling your name. Now, Chris Colgan is a Northern Virginia powerhouse who closed 90 mil in sales and build a huge YouTube and Instagram following to match. So he is going to tell you the secrets, tell you the strategies on the Lab Podcast. So guys, join us, mark your calendars, invite a friend, and I'll see you there.
All right, there you go. Alyssa, Always University. You've got so much value that they bring to the table every single week. You've got stuff to tune into. All right, so next up, in the segment called Lab Notes with Bryon Ellington, he's going to be interviewing a quick segment from Joey Oberndorfer. He's been an agent for 9 months and has 32 closed transactions. Bryon, take it away.
So as we get started, brief introduction. Would you share with everybody how you became the Joey Oberndorfer that we know in real estate? Where were you before, and how's your journey been so far?
Oh gosh. Well, my journey has been amazing, especially with EXP, but I've only been in real estate for about 9 months now, but I just closed my 32nd transaction in 9 months. So things have been moving very quickly. I've never done real estate before. My dad did real estate in the 80s with Coldwell Banker, learned a lot from him. But before this, I was in corporate America, and I had understood investments in real estate and been around it my whole life, and said, you know what? I'd love to get into this. And then I did, and things have just taken off since I've been in Georgia here for the past 3 years. But in real estate in the past 9 months has been really trial by fire. But I'm glad I'm learning a lot of things sooner than later.
Well, that's quite the fire you've created too. 32 deals in 9 months is not normal, in case nobody told you that.
I've
and it's a very good bazaar, by the way. That's the right kind of bazaar to be. So I'm curious, can we maybe take it from the ground floor up? How do you go generate the amount of leads that it takes to close 30 some odd transactions in 9 months? What's your bent in terms of lead funnels?
Absolutely. So I've been super fortunate enough to be a part of the Dreammaker team here, the Zillow Dreammaker team with Harriet Hinson as the team lead. I actually got into real estate while I was in Georgia and randomly ran into my EXP buddy, Austin Luchard, who I played college football with in South Dakota. And he was at a table next to me, and we connected, and he said, hey, join this team, join this brokerage. It's amazing. And he was 100% right. So being on this Zillow Flex team, we get leads into our database that are real-time tour requests or real-time phone calls that allow us to generate clients and be able to make transactions.
Okay. And now, candidly, I think some people who just hear that go, oh, wow, yeah, he's got Zillow Flex leads. But if you're not familiar, I got to tell you, conversion of Zillow Flex leads is not a walk in the park.
No.
Has that been your experience as well?
Oh my gosh. I have heard the same thing, and I've heard you're lucky, this and that. And it's like, maybe some of it, but I think it's consistency, but 100%. I get the same type of clients or leads that everybody else does. The person who just wants to look at 100 homes, or the person that wants to look in a price bracket that's not, within their range. And it really has been a consistency, I think, behind closed doors that only realtors, or maybe most people who have gone through the amount of grind that I feel like I have in this short amount of time would understand. And to your point, it's things like I've worked with clients for 6 months, helping them with their credit, with getting them approved with lenders, their debt, making sure that we are doing everything right within their finances to the time that they're ready to go, helping people get out of certain situations, finding them resources, continuously sticking with them. It has been, and not every lead I get is like, hey, let's go see this home, we're going to buy it. Great. It is consistently trying to manage those expectations and starting from start and trying to make it to the finish.
And of the 60% or so that don't want that property, What's typical in terms of your conversion? Is it a series of outreach? A friend of mine who did 10 days of pain and things of that nature, just to kind of make sure that they didn't choose somebody else because of lack of communication. How do you approach it?
Oh, gosh, that is such a great question. I think there's just such a dynamic way to look at it. It's so contingent upon the person. It's just being aware of who are they, what's their schedule, how much can they talk to you. But I'm pretty consistent in my follow-up. And if I double text, I triple text. And if they don't get back to me and they say, hey, sorry, I've been busy, I let them know, hey, it's my responsibility to keep up with you, and it's your responsibility to handle life and get back to me when you can. Letting them know there's no pressure, but I'm thinking about you and your investment. With those people that say no and they want to go see other homes, it's pretty consistent because I'm not going to judge them for the decision. I like to make it as comfortable as possible, as enthusiastic as possible. And if they're saying something that is certainly agreeable and why they have an objection to the home, 100%, I'm not going to fight you on it. That's not an objection I need to fight you on. That's absolutely 100%. Let's go see what else is out there. And it usually turns into what do you think about this home? They're sending me homes and I'll find a home. But again, it's reading the mood.
Okay. I'm curious, at what point, or do you go from single property buyer agreements to a full-on buyer rep agreement?
Great question. So usually if we see one property one day and then let's just say it's that single time and they say, hey, this isn't the one for me, but we're going to follow up. Great. We have a great follow-up. We see another property. This isn't the one. That's usually about after 2 properties is when I present that. And I say, hey, look, it looks like we're going to have to expand our home search and our criteria. And it looks like we're going to probably see more than one property after this. So what I'd like to do is enter into a more comprehensive agreement that allows me to inquire and see any home with you that you want. It's a blanketed agreement that allows me to do that, but we don't have to do this single property agreement every single time anymore. And it creates flexibility in what we're trying to do.
All right, so there you go. Bryon, awesome. Joey, excellent. If you guys want to watch the full interview with Joey, it's on The Lab on YouTube. So go to EXP, type in The Lab, type in Joey Oberndorfer, and you guys can watch the full video on that. Like, I'm going to actually go and watch the full video on that because 32 transactions, really that fast? That's something special. So I want to make sure to check that out. Great interview. Looking forward to seeing the rest of that. All right. So next up, Agent of Advantage, we have a solution for you guys called Kaydoh. I don't even know what that is yet. So I'm excited to see what that is. Take it away. Kaydoh, what are y'all about?
Hey folks, my name is Michael Lamb, founder and CEO of Kaydoh. Super excited you guys are all here with me. Now, what is Kaydoh? Kaydoh helps agents market themselves in a smarter way to win listings faster, capture leads more efficiently, all from a single shareable link. So instead of juggling CRMs, video apps, PDFs, landing pages, agents are using Kaydoh to instantly show their value and expertise to impress sellers and buyers and ultimately convert them into deals. Now, imagine being able to stop losing listings because your marketing doesn't stand out. Kaydoh lets you impress with just a few clicks and reuse on repeat over and over. Now, you're probably thinking, I'm too busy, or is this just another tech tool I got to learn? I'm not tech savvy. Here's a beautiful part about Kaydoh. We've designed it for the busy agents and for agents that don't want to learn a brand new tool. They're familiar with drag and drop type of products. So if you can take a file from your computer, drop it into a folder on your computer, you can use Kaydoh. We have pre-built templates. 90% is done for you. The 10% is where you're coming in and personalizing it to your brand. Now, most agents, the problem here is when they show up to listings appointments, they generally try to wing it, or they think they can build rapport on the spot. And a lot of times that doesn't cut it because a lot of times the sellers have already sized them up. They've already have compared them. And a lot of times they haven't built that rapport to really make them win that listing. So what Kaydoh does is that you can build a pre-listing package ahead of time, and you're going to be able to text it to a seller to really build that rapport super fast. And we know how fast you build rapport plays a key role in winning listings. So let me show you very quickly an example of a practical use case of what many of our customers are doing in Kaydoh. Now, this is a great example of a customer who got an online lead, but he was going to compete with other people, other teams that had a lot more experience than he had. So what he had to do is he had to do something different. He had to stand out. And what he did, he uses Kaydoh to do a pre-listing package. He does a quick video message to the homeowner. And keep in mind, he's never met the homeowner. It was an online lead, got on a phone call. He set the appointment. Now what he did is he makes a little video, personalizes to the homeowner. The background photo is actually the photo of the property. He just went on Google Maps and took a screenshot, dropped in his CMA, his video marketing, and he does it in under 10 minutes, and he ends up securing a $1.5 million listing. What's great about this product, as I mentioned earlier, is it's rinse and repeat. So matter of fact, he went after recently a $4 million expired listing and wins it using Kaydoh. Agents are using Kaydoh to win more listings, capture higher quality leads, and stay on top of mind for referrals, all while saving tons of hours per week. Now go to exp.kaydoh.com to learn more, to watch a formal demo, or if you're ready to get going and turning those leads into listings, just start your free 14-day free trial. We don't even ask for your credit card. Talk to you guys soon.
All right, so there you go. Solution. EXP always has the best solutions for you guys, so you know who we are and partner with to be able to take your business to the next level and be able to have the solutions for you, so you don't have to go out and figure out which one's a decent one for you guys. All right, so there you go. That is the show for today. We have, of course, the NPS. If you can grab your phone and open up your camera, kick the NPS QR code. Let us know how we did today on a scale of 1 to 10. Let us know what we did and how we did, and you can take our business to the next level. Every week we review those and try to make sure we just keep making adjustments, keep making it better and better for you guys. All right, so that is it for August 1st of August, Big Agent Meeting. Stay tuned. Coming up next, iConversations. I'll see y'all next week.